All right, so I'm out here today because I desperately need to clean my EDC in its current state. I wouldn't be shocked if I got clapped in the streets and your boy was gone. But this is not my EDC. But I got to thinking, if you know, I'm probably like many people, when you clean one gun, if you're going to get all the stuff out, you might as well clean a couple. And I was getting a couple of my handguns out, and I got to thinking about kind of the evolution of my EDC and where I started, kind of why I started there, and how it's evolved over the last decade plus since I've been carrying. Um, so, right here is something most people are probably very familiar with. It's a Glock 19. Now, this was not what I started carrying with, but it's it's definitely a twin. So I actually started carrying a Glock 23 when I started carrying. The logic was I wanted something to carry, and I went to YouTube to figure it out. And there's this channel with some young buck on it named Hitcock45. Okay, I threw you off there with a little bit of a misdirect. But Hitcock45, and man, this old grandpappy could shoot. And what was he often shooting? A Glock. And sold me on the pros of 40 over 9mm and something like this Glock 19 slash Glock 23 size as kind of a really good all around middle of the road concealed carry package. So I started carrying a Glock 23 in a Galco King Tuck. You know why? Because Hitcock 45 said why, and that's why. That was all the reason I needed. And, you know, I've had a couple of Glock 23s, so I had a Glock 23. Start off with that. Then finally started making my way to thinking about size versus, you know, power, and went to a Glock 19. I don't know if I had a limit or what, but that thing didn't shoot worth a flip, so I went back to another Glock 23, loved it and carried it for several more years, and then eventually ended up with another Glock 19, and this one shoots fine too. So 3 of the 4 I've had all shot well. They were all perfectly reliable, but the 119 I had, I don't know what it was, but I just couldn't hit worth a flip with it. But so anyways, I chose the Glock 19 slash 23 platform because it was such a perfect balance of size, weight, capacity, concealability, all those things. And where I went from there, pour the Kool-Aid, serve it on up, was this guy. You can see the handle's like brown on this guy. By the way, safety checked all these before the video started. So this one, I don't know if you know with SIG, you can look in there and see if there's a bullet. So, but just safety checked all of them for the video. But anyways, then for several years, I initially became very intrigued in the P365. But as you know, as I just said, a lot of my information comes from YouTube. There were a lot of reported issues with these guys, and I waited until the issues were apparently fixed and made the change. And this was a complete game changer when it came to concealed carry. Not even just as much because of it being a smaller platform, being so thin, and I'm not going to do side-by-sides because there's 1,000 videos where people put this up next to Glock 19s and MMPs and other guns and yada, yada, yada. But also going to a lot more slimmed-down holster. So I typically would carry this guy in some form of vetter, one of their inside the waistband. I also pocket carried this guy for a long time. And I'm a big guy. It's borderline all you want to pocket carry, but I pocket carried and inside the waistband carried this guy for several years. And then as time went on, I thought, you know, one of the more convenient ways to carry that I found with this guy was to pocket carry because it gave you so many more wardrobe options. So I thought, well, let me get a little bit better pocket carry gun. insert the Ruger LCP, and this is the max. This guy made pocket carry. This guy made having a gun always on you so easy. I always have a gun on me anyways. I always tell everyone, if I've got my pants on, I'm packing. And it was a complete game changer. And love this gun. Don't ask me to hit anything with it past 15 yards. Johnny Commando will hop down in the comments and say they can drill stuff at 80, I'm sure. But this thing made always having a gun on you so easy. You know, even when you're not really wearing, you know, attire you would typically conceal carry, and you can just throw it in your pocket and forget about it. And then just a lot of current events really got me thinking about, you know, this thing's better than nothing, but being a 380 out of such a short barrel, and revisiting kind of the concealed carry protocol by Lieutenant Colonel Nothing Fancy, and watching a lot of self-defense encounters. You know, reality is not like Hollywood, and when people get shot, more often than not, it's not an instant capacitation, and they've still got a lot more starch left in their jammies. And I thought, you know, I really need to find a way to up capability and performance while still having something that's very concealable. And that led me to my current EDC that I came out here to clean. Oh yeah, look at how gross this thing is. This is the SIG P365 XL, and it is easier to carry with this Streamlight and this Hollow Sun than the old Glock 19 used to be, just in that Galco King Tuck. This thing is nasty right now, which is why I came out to carry, but there's a light, still functions. I kind of want to shoot it just to see if it would function and see if I would die or if it would jam on me this nasty, but I think I'm going to clean it. I don't have a whole heck of a lot of time today, especially not with making this video. But I really get to thinking about the evolution of my EDC, where now, you know, a decade ago plus, that was considered the gold standard for lightweight, concealability, shootability, all in one package. This gun, the regular P365, I felt like I could shoot almost as good as this one. And then the first time I shot one of these, actually a family member had one. Let's just say I picked one up less than a month later because how narrow it is, also the value, not having to upgrade night sights and all that, which who knows if that night sight would even glow with that fur on it. Give me a thumbs up if your EDC's ever gotten to look like this. But look at all that holster wear. It's definitely not a safe ornament. Look at the inside of my red dot. This is where I'd probably die. I wipe this thing off all the time, and I just get a ton of lint in there. But this thing has been a total game changer, and it strikes such a perfect balance of, and I'll show that this one's clear. There's not anything in there, but it strikes such a perfect balance of concealability and shootability, capacity. You know, with today's technology, a lot of name brand common bullets are going to do the tickets if you put them in the right spot. So I carry this thing with 124 grain HSTs, and I absolutely love it. I can never go back to carrying without a light, and I feel like I can never go back to carrying without a red dot. I especially like this Hollow Sun because it's got some kind of built-in night sight, so the camera's not going to focus on it well, but you can kind of use that as a backup if your sights ever were to die. So anyways, just thought I'd talk about the evolution of EDC. You know, I think this gun is awesome and perfect and exactly what I want in an EDC. And it'll be very interesting to see 10 years from now if this thing feels obsolete. You know, I don't know if the technology improvements are going to come in new calibers. I know Federal has tried to launch a few and it feels like they've kind of flopped. But it'll be very interesting to see if this thing is still king of the hill. You know, as for a lot of people, they would probably say something like this, of this ilk, is their is their concealed carry of choice, or if it's been replaced and dethroned, where they sat on the throne for many years, and then this guy was the king for a couple years, and then now to me, this is the concealed carry gun right here. This is actually my wife's gun, but I steal it all the time. So anyways, just wanted to run through kind of my evolution of EDC. Let me know if you've ever bought a concealed carry gun because your favorite YouTuber carried it, and if that's how you got started, and kind of how you've evolved from there. But I'm going to get this guy cleaned up. We're growing fur. It's definitely collected a lot of lint. And like I said, if I've got my pants on, I'm carrying. So let me know down in the comments what you carry. What ammunition do you carry? I really like the 124 HSTs, like I said. And yeah, let me know what your evolution of EDC has been.